Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today it is Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. And in this video, I'm going to be going over just equities. I'm going to go over NVDA, S&P 500, and the IWM. Okay, so starting off with NVIDIA first, I have the daily chart pulled up here. And as you can see here, on October 7th, we had a breakout of this pennant, right? Consolidation. Broke out to the upside. The measured move for the target is just above the 1.618 level I have here, right around 171.7 is the 1618. Measured move takes you around 175. All right, so a little over 170, 170 is the target for new all-time highs on NVIDIA, if it can get there. I do believe it can, Q4 for sure. Uh, but let's look at key levels now. So, end of last week, NVIDIA was having a pullback. All right. A key level to watch is going to be this purple area. This is a weekly level, okay? So I'll get to the weekly. I'll just show you really quick. This is a key area because, as you can see here, uh, going back to June 17th, every time we've gotten closures, right, or rejections, we've gotten rejections and also support. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. There's 6 times we've had a key reaction at this area between 130.56 and 128.74. Right? We've had, 4 weekly rejections and then 1 weekly support. And if you go on a lower time frame than the weekly, like the daily, you can see this more clear, right? So let me zoom this out a little bit, tiny bit. We can get the VRVP. Alrighty. So if we were to, I'm going to take this off. If we were to test this area again between 130.56 and 128.74, it is valid to think that we could have, essentially a double bottom and find support there. If I was trading it, I would go long if we went in this zone. Right? Simple as that. Obviously, have a stop loss, a level where it's invalidated. Probably if you have a daily closure under this, it's probably invalid, right? And so if we do break down from this area under 128.74, the next areas to really look for are going to be like 124 and 120. All right, those are going to be key areas. That would also, that is room for a higher low, right? If you don't want to count this low here, October 15th, still some room. You can sweep that area and still make another higher low. Curious about the monthly. Yeah, monthly still has room to make higher lows. I would say as long as you don't get closures on the monthly under 121.75, NVIDIA should be okay and grind on to new all-time highs the rest of this year and probably part of 2025 as well. All right, so that's a video. Key area to watch: 130.56, 128.74. Key area. You break under there. A little more downside for NVDA. Hold above there. Looking all good. S&P 500. So here's the daily chart. And I've gone over this a couple times, especially on my X account. After we broke under this trend line here on the daily, there was also a trend line here on the RSI as well. Okay, that was a sign of weakness, right, on both ends, as well as market cycle B, the momentum waves. And we came to a key support. Very simple. We're trying to find, support here. To be honest, I think we could get down to 565 on S&P 500, but we'll see. We do have a daily gap to fill up to 579. We could very well find short-term support here, make a lower high, and kind of get 565 area hit, or even a sweep. But nonetheless, S&P 500 has some room for a daily lower high and to make another low. Okay, that's the bearish scenario where you can hit 565, 559 to 557, or even 548. Okay, the bullish scenario would be, of course, if you hold here at 569, or even 565 if you were to get hit and continue to grind up. If we go to a weekly time frame, there's still a ton of room to make a weekly higher low as long as you're above 539. So even if we do get another couple red weeks on S&P 500, as long as we're holding above 539, everything is a-okay, and you could very well grind on up to new all-time highs in the coming weeks, months, and part of 2025 too. Okay, so a ton of room to make higher lows above 539, and those are the key support areas that we have on the daily time frame. Alrighty, if we go to a monthly chart, again, you have a ton of room to make a monthly higher low. Alrighty, and while S&P 500 is in a bull market, you typically don't see many red months. Right? It is buying opportunities to buy the dip and have some patience and hold, make profits. It's quite simple when you zoom out and look at a higher time frame as the monthly, weekly, and just look at it from an objective perspective. Okay. Ton of room to make weekly and monthly higher lows and continue with the bull market. That's S&P 500. IWM. Go to a weekly time frame here. Okay. So IWM is in, and it seems to me, an ascending triangle, which is bullish. Okay. Especially if we can hold above 214.60 and this white trend line of support. Alrighty. Ascending triangle, measured move. If we do break up to the upside for this, is going to be 260, which would be a new all-time high for IWM. And if that's the case, we're in a pretty good bull market. And we typically, when small caps tend to rise, we're entering or in kind of the last phase of the cycle, so to say, the bull cycle. So, nonetheless, if we are indeed entering that phase or in it, we're bullish, there's still plenty of time to make some good profits on the long side. Okay. Also goes in hand with crypto as well, but we're not talking about crypto in this video. All right, but that's the weekly time frame. All right, staying above 214.60 is pretty key. Now to go on the daily time frame, I have a volume profile here. Okay, from the top at July 31st to the low of August 5th up until now. All right, and as you see, we're trading here at the high volume node area. It's not really a big deal, in my opinion, if we get closures under here. As I keep saying, 214.60 is a key area. Already, if we lose that, we can break this trend line, obviously, and get down to 212 or even 208, which wouldn't be horrible. Or we are in volatile times, but we would want to see IWM get back above 214 in a quick manner. All right, we want to see a lot of consolidation of time under for 214, in my opinion. Okay, but as long as we're holding that, pretty good. So just to clean up, take off that VRVP. ascending triangle, we're kind of in a range between 224 and 214. Why 224? Because every time we've gotten rejected, closures under, we came down to the 214 level, or even a little under if we're going back in time a tiny bit. Okay, so a tiny range within an ascending triangle. Simple. IWM overall looks more bullish than bearish. And we can look at NASDAQ too. I haven't pulled it up in a while just because it's kind of similar to S&P 500. Not too much recently because big tech is kind of weak. But let me take all that off. It's been a while since I have looked at it. I'm just going to go on a weekly time frame. Okay. Yeah, I mean, as long as the Nasdaq is holding above 448, um, it's fine. So similar to S&P, the lows put in early September on a weekly basis, holding above there, everything's pretty good. So that's really it for today's video on stocks. Overall, more bullish, long term, right? Short term, we could still see a tiny bit more downside, but we have a ton of room to look for higher time frame, higher lows, such as the weekly and monthly charts. Zoom out, don't get freaked out by short-term price action or narratives. Turn off the news, all that bullshit, and trust me, it'll help you out. So yeah, peace out, guys. See you in the next one.